But yeah, we're gonna do a debate recap after talking about. Actually, no, you know what? We'll do Israel, Hezbollah, that kind of stuff in a little bit. Let's do the debate recap first.
Just
okay?
34 days to go until Election Day. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance taking the stage at the sole vice presidential debate hosted by CBS. With a
So, right off the jump, I have a lot of thoughts on the debate, okay? Many people want to hear what my like immediate approach was or what my overall understanding of the debate was, okay? And it was soul-sucking. It was shitty. I hated it, okay? I hated it for a bunch of different reasons. Number one, it ended up presenting J.D. Vance like a normal human being, which is really fucked up. Okay, you ran an ad 10 minutes ago, loser. Okay, just you know, let's get people to shut the fuck up a little bit. I'm just gonna ban a bunch of people today. I think I'm in a bad fucking mood. It made JD Vance look moderate. JD Vance came on that stage with one goal and one goal only. It wasn't even to like defend Trump that much. Obviously, he still has to do that because, like, you know, he has an audience of one. But his major goal tonight was, or last night, was to basically present himself as like a moderate person, a solid communicator that has a liberal veneer on some very illiberal and very, very fascistic right-wing ideologies. And he did a good job at that. I hate to fucking recognize that. I think that is devastating. I think that is a bad thing. But I do think he did a pretty solid fucking job. And his approval rating post-debate went up as a consequence of that. It was also very frustrating because Tim Walz is a normal guy. He is not this like machine politician overall. And because of that, he's kind of weak when it comes to defending certain machine politician requirements. And the debate starting off with, would you allow Israel to fucking first strike Iran, definitely knocked the wind out of his sails. Okay? It did. It started off real rough because I don't think, like, I'm not being parasocial or anything. Like, do I think that Tim Walz is like someone who is invested in the continuation of the Israeli genocide of the Palestinian population? Yes. Okay. I do. I don't think he cares. But I also personally think that his heart is not in it in the same way that like other politicians may be. You know, get a guy like Brian Mast up there to talk about it. He'll chirp till the cows come home about how awesome it is that Palestinian children need to be melted, right? He is not necessarily the guy who is all that invested. And you saw it. You saw it because there were issues that he was genuinely invested in. And he popped off when talking about it. So the first half definitely went to J.D. Vance on that front because a lot of these questions and a lot of these issues, okay, a lot of these issues were issues that machine politicians are equipped to talk about, right? J.D. Vance is a very cunning, wily little rat in a human suit, okay? He's a lizard person in a human suit. He can fucking communicate with podcasters about incel groiper shit, but he can also shift his, he can shift his language to an audience that is predominantly liberal. He can moderate himself, right? That's just the truth. He is like Pete Buttigieg, but Pete Buttigieg has, I would say, more charisma even than J.D. Vance. Now, overall, I was frustrated with the way in which Tim Walz announced himself to the most prominent, to the largest possible platform he could have announced himself to. What do I mean by this? This is the biggest audience he's going to be in front of, okay? I wished that he would have been able to communicate his desires and communicate his opinions in the same exact ways that he was able to do so when talking about lowering fucking pharma prices, lowering fucking housing costs. Like, you saw how passionate he would get on issues that he cares about. Healthcare is another one. He's very good on those issues. I hated how much they agreed, though, because Tim Walz is like a normal guy, okay? He's a yokel. That is his appeal. And as a yokel, normal guy, and not like a real politician in the way that you understand it, okay? He's not going to come across as solid on American foreign policy, and he definitely did not come across as solid on immigration. I would say that the reason for why this was a 50-50 deadlock in most of the polls that came out afterwards, with some independents favoring Tim Walz over J.D. Vance, is because of the platform that these two parties represent. Not on immigration specifically, but on how hard J.D. Vance goes on immigration, how hard the right-wing platform goes on immigration, and how normal Tim Walz can present himself to a broader audience in comparison to J.D. Vance, who is very good at, masquerading as like a moderate if he wants to, but he still has this like nervous energy to him that I think a lot of people can see through and are otherwise disgusted by. So Tim Walz standing next to him and agreeing with him and saying, I agree with you, literally, in my opinion, made him look more moderate. It actually helped J.D. Vance. What do I mean by this? J.D. Vance is an unlikable fucking psychopath. So when you got a likable yokel like Tim Walz being like, I agree with you, behaving like a fucking kindergarten teacher, okay, and J.D. Vance is like the bad behaving child or whatever, you're going to make him look good. And that's precisely what happened. He had more to gain than Tim Walz did in this situation, okay? But yeah, right off the jump, the first question was whether either vice president would allow Israel to first strike Iran. We are a ridiculous nation, okay? That was my initial assessment, okay? It was very frustrating to watch that. Like, Israel is doing South Africa speed runs right now, okay? Like, opening up new fronts. They're in apartheid on a good day. They're doing genocide on a bad day every day. And on top of that, they're like busy opening up multiple fronts. And the first question is like, America's not reining Israel in at all. The media analysis is, will you let Israel unfold? Will you let Israel create a nuclear holocaust? That's crazy. That's a crazy way to interpret the events that are unfolding in front of our eyes. So I knew that there was going to be a uniparty assessment there. But overall, like, I don't know what Tim Walz's real opinions are, but it's obvious to me that that's not something that he is like fully on board with. He's having a hard time, or even if he is fully on board with it, he's having a fucking hard time communicating that. Okay. J.D. Vance immediately jumped on and gave a summarization of the Hillbilly Elegy because he understood that like this is his opportunity to basically fucking describe his background to as broad of an audience as possible, even though everybody fucking hates him. Okay. And the worst aspect of it early on, and this is like something I locked into pretty quickly, was that J.D. Vance also did a much better job than Trump when it comes to lying about bringing end to global conflict. Okay? Like, I often talk about 2016 era Trump, how he was able to successfully present himself as a peaceful dove, right, against Hillary Clinton's warmongering tendencies. 2024 Trump, on the other hand, hasn't done that well. He has definitely lost his step a little bit. J.D. Vance, on the other hand, in my opinion, did a better job of communicating not just on this front, but on a lot of the key Republican conversations. And the media reception on that, with the exception of January 6th, was showcasing exactly what I'm saying. Okay? Like, J.D. Vance was able to communicate Trump's insane policies, whether it be on immigration or beyond Trump's insane policies on immigration, like the hard things to talk about, like abortion. He is able to moderate that even better. He's like, oh, we got to do better with women. Like, we got to do better at listening to women. Like, he is such a classic former liberal that he knows exactly how to tap into that. And I think that played well to at least the media class, okay? And he has a lot more experience in this field, both as like a Yale guy and also as a guy who was a liberal. He was a liberal. He was a liberal until not that long ago. But yeah, another aspect of this also is that it's wild that Tim Walz's entire shtick, I said, is that he's a normal, not a real politician kind of guy. His answer about defending the genocidal apartheid regime start to right to start World War III is textbook soulless, amoral politician. And he's not going to be good at that. He's just not. He can't do that. And the other thing that I had called out ahead of time, ahead of the debate, was that he was always going to be, and Tim Walz is who I'm talking about here. He was always going to be on crutches, you know? He was always going to have training weights on because he has to defend Kamala Harris's policy because she's leading the ticket. Okay? That's it. And when you have those training weights on and you're sitting there defending, you know, the right-wing border bill, if you don't have your own way of communicating that right-wing border bill, then you're going to have to use their talking points. And that's why it was Kamala Bot 2.0. He literally kept repeating the same exact lines. That's bad coaching. Okay? That's bad coaching. That's just straight up like they know what kind of potential they have with Tim Walz. That's why they chose him. Right? So why the fuck are you telling him to just reiterate Kamala Harris's position that she keeps fucking repeating over and over again? It's very bad. It was very bad rhetoric, okay? He literally said she prosecuted transnational gangs. Like, you don't have to use her fucking points, dude. You don't have to use her talking points. Be yourself. Anyway, JD Vance said 1 million undocumented immigrants have committed some kind of crime on U.S. soil as he walks through how he'd deport 25 million migrants. It was very frustrating. Obviously, he was able to once again repeat his positions on immigrants without coming across as insane as Donald Trump. Okay, that's another area where, like, JD Vance, in my opinion, did a more professional, like he was able to add a professional veneer to the deeply right wing, deeply fascist, white nativist immigration, anti-immigrant sentiments. Okay. He didn't have like any moments like the ones that you've heard him on those podcasts about, like coming across as weird about like having a breeding fetish for women. Okay. Treating women as like, you know, cows basically, or saying that like he's lying about immigrant stories because he wants to hyper focus on like taking away the TPS status of like Haitian migrants that are living on U.S. soil. Like, the policies are weird, but he wasn't showcasing it in a fucking weird way. He didn't communicate it in a way where, like, I think the average onlooker would look at that and go, dude, what the fuck? Like, this guy's out of his mind. Donald Trump failed on that front. Okay. And part of that, part of the reason why JD Vance was able to successfully communicate this shit is because Democrats don't address some of the very basic lies that the Republican Party tells on a regular basis. They're locked in on a right-wing border attitude. They're just completely committed to it. And it's very, very frustrating. It's very frustrating to see that. This is another thing that I've been yelling about for months. Okay? For months and months, I have been screaming since October 4 or October 5, I think, before October 7, when Joe Biden came out and unveiled his right-wing border bill, that he got like an incredibly conservative Republican senator from Oklahoma to write, that he was committed to. Ever since the Democrats rolled out their anti-immigrant proposals, I've been yelling about how you cannot outflank the Republicans on this issue. You cannot cave and capitulate and concede to right-wing framing on this issue. And they absolutely have. And they are not going to change trajectory on this. And I fucking despise them for doing that. Because even if it actually helped them win the election, then ultimately you're still fucking passing a right-wing border bill. Like, you're still hurting the future of this country. You're still bouldering towards fascism. But now with a D sticker slapped onto it, it's completely, patently unacceptable. Okay? But the other side of this is that it also doesn't even help the Democrats. I'm losing my mind. The Dems never mentioned that it's U.S. citizens trafficking the drugs across the border. It's literally 80% of the drug apprehensions. And yet that never gets brought up. Never. If you ask most Americans, average Americans, who are maybe a little bit more thoughtful about the situation, most of them think drug mules, children, JD Vance said children make the best drug mules, by the way. Like these people, most people actually legitimately fucking think that it's immigrants that are bringing the drugs into the country. It's just not true. It is incorrect. And it blows my fucking mind that we don't ever discuss the reality of the situation. Okay? Ryan Marino quote tweeted me and said 88% of fentanyl trafficking convictions across the southern border are U.S. citizens. 0.02% of people crossing illegally possess fentanyl. That's what every single law enforcement agency says, and the data is public. And I can't see how increasing money to the border will help prevent any drug overdoses when CBP are the ones smuggling the rest of the drugs into the country. Yeah. It's so weird. I mean, it's not like it's I don't think this is incompetence. I don't think this is like negligence. I think it is because the Democrats have also decided they are going to be right wing on the border going forward forever. Like, I think that they're just locked in on it. I think it's on purpose. It's very, very fucked up. And I do think it's deliberate. Tim Walz is defending a right-wing border bill that literally has funding for Trump's border wall in it. I hate this fucking party so much. They're in agreement on the made-up issue that migrants constitute a national security threat. Dems just want to be lame about the optics. Yeah, once again, Democrats find themselves in the realm of bad politics and bad policy. It's bad politics because you can never outflank the right on anti-immigrant sentiment, because this sentiment is not coming from a logical place. It's coming from pure racism. That's it. It's pure white supremacist attitudes, right? So you can't really outflank them by being like, well, hold on now, we got to logically do this situation. It's like, it's illogical. It's illogical because immigrants do not constitute a national security threat. They are literally not a burden, but a boon on American economy. And also beyond that, they literally do less crime. They do less crime per capita than fucking natural-born U.S. citizens. It's so stupid. So just say the fucking truth. Say the truth. It kills me that this is something that they've just completely dropped. And there is polling to show that the overall American sentiment, the overarching American sentiment towards migration patterns, towards immigrants in general, was objectively positive, significantly more positive when the Democrats were actually hammering against Trump's right-wing, white nativist border bill and border policies. Okay? But they completely fucking dropped that early on. They changed trajectory. They went right-wing immediately. The truth is not what their target demo voter want to hear. That's not true. Their target demo voters will literally change their minds if they fucking hear the truth from someone. But if no one is saying the truth on either side, then yeah, lies are going to lead this conversation. And it's bad politics and it's bad policy because it's like you're going to harm the US economy and you're going to harm a shit ton of people in the process by, implementing or allowing anti-immigrant sentiment to fester. That's why we have the fucking bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio, because that's what happens when people do legitimately believe that like undocumented and documented immigrants like the Haitians that have TPS are rapist cat eaters, brother. That's it. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to have pogroms. That's it. It's already happening and Trump's not even fucking president yet. I don't know, man. I think you're a prime example that people don't want to hear the truth. What do you mean? Me saying this is entirely different than one of the two parties effectively communicating this, because when I say it, it doesn't move the needle. When I say it, NBC, CNN, ABC is not going to cover it, okay? But when Kamala Harris says it, they will cover it. And I think the Democrats' expectation is that like the media will make up for that. The media will make up for that misinformation when they won't. They won't do it. Polls say most Americans, you had 100K people in here only to listen to debate coverage, but you spend every day talking and doing actual work. The general public does not care. Polls say most Americans support mass deportation is good politics, to be honest. Yeah, those very same polls also literally show that Americans also want amnesty. They literally have 90% approval rating for giving dreamers American citizenship. How do you make sense of those polls? It doesn't fucking matter. Americans, for the most part, do not see how bad a policy is until it's in effect. That's why under the Trump administration, when Trump actually was implementing right-wing border policies, Americans were very much against that. Joe Biden ran against that. Joe Biden was far closer on the issue of immigration to Donald Trump and even beat him on certain polls when he was running against Trump's border policies. They're catering to the centrist voters in swing states. No, dumbass. They're telling you that, okay? They're telling you that, and you're just repeating that without critically thinking about the issue. I'm over here trying to explain to you that this is a ridiculous thing, that this is a stupid thing to do. All you're doing is telling your base of voters that undocumented migrants constitute a national security threat. When the Democrats say Republicans are right on immigration, that we have to do something about it, all they've done is legitimize their perspective. Their perspective is not born out of data. Their perspective is not born out of the truth. All you've done is make your base of support, your voters who trust you, who believe you when you say, yeah, immigrants do constitute a national security threat. We got to do something about it. That's all you've done. You have made the entirety now of the broader electorate fucking turn right wing on immigration. That's it. Also, the idea that Democrats like listen to polls when it suits their broader purpose is so stupid when it comes to Israel, okay? There is overwhelming support for pushing for a ceasefire. There is even overwhelming support for denying weapons transfers as a way to push Israel to do a ceasefire. Democrats don't listen to that. Democrats might lose Michigan for this reason. So obviously they don't give a fuck about the polls when it's something that they care about, okay? When it's an issue that they care more about. They care more about continuing American foreign policy that is set in fucking stone instead of actually doing something that is electorally beneficial. Winning elections, stopping deportation is good. It's pragmatic. No, it's not. You are just repeating things that you read and things that you saw on MSNBC without applying any kind of critical thinking to this process whatsoever. Okay? You are literally the living definitional proof that Democrats catering to this like right-wing framing ends up making dumbasses like you who are lifelong liberals also repeat the same fucking Republican bullshit. You are what I'm talking about. You are the perfect example. If you were around in 2020, you said you've been following since 2019. I suspect that there was a certain point, if you were in the chat all the way back in 2020, where you were chirping about Donald Trump's insane right-wing policies in terms of the fucking border bills that he pushed for. What changed? What changed? The Democrats started also assuming a right-wing attitude on the border, so now you're also assuming a right-wing attitude. That's it. That's the issue. 100% a Redditor, yes. Use the page up key on the keyboard. I mean, I'm scrolling it. I think it's like not very effective. Anyway, not very long ago, Dems were making fun of the border wall. Yeah, exactly. Bro, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have like on the record statements about how stupid it is to fund a fucking border wall and that like that's not going to prevent anything because it's true. Okay, god damn, this chatter fucking talks so much. Holy shit. Anyway, no timeouts though. Good chatter. I know. Shockingly little timeouts from this person. He's like a Bernie bro, I think. No border is easy in fucking in 2021. Border copium, wall, look, borders, no nationalism, border patrol, How the fuck did you go from someone who was like making fun of dengists to a person who's like, I think Kamala Harris is actually doing the right thing in terms of her analysis, looking for, yeah, look. 2021. Dems are better to black people and trans people and immigrants. Read Marx. Chatter went from read Marx and fucking Democrats are better to black people and trans people and immigrants to like, actually Democrats have to be mean to immigrants in order to win elections. How'd that happen? You went from saying bourgeois democracy to being a fucking willing participant of it. How did that happen? I'm a leftist, bro. I get the logic. I'm a leftist. I'm telling you their logic. Sorry, Omegalol. Their logic is fucking stupid. And if you're a leftist, you should understand that that is fucking stupid. My point is you, okay? the Democrats behaving like this creates this weird media cycle where people literally fucking end up repeating those talking points as though it's actually a brilliant tactic when it's not. It's just not. And it's funny because Democrats have done this over and over and over again. They've done it on fucking funding the police. Nobody thinks that the Democrats are the fund the police party, okay? It's not going to happen. But they do it anyway. Liberals posting like 2016 Republicans. Yeah. At the border with swagger. Sick, man. Sick. It's very, very, very frustrating to see this shit. Okay? I started listening to books about socialism today. Thanks for teaching me out. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, there it is. This is the other side of this, okay? The Democratic Party did not really fight this trend. That is bad enough. More worrying to me is that I do not think it would have mattered if it tried. Public opinion doesn't work that way. I don't agree with this as argumentum. Anti-immigrant views went up during the first few years of the Biden's term when crossings were super elevated, but the numbers were right in line with pre-Trump attitudes. It's only been since the Dems surrendered this year that we've seen crazy shifts. Look at that. Look at Americans' preference for migration. Americans' preferences for migration, for immigration to the U.S. Thinking now about immigrants, that is, people who come from other countries to live here in the United States. In your view, should immigration be kept at its present level, increased, or decreased? 55% now say fucking decrease, dude. Look at that massive spike on that fucking football right there. Parties are limited, yes, but they aren't powerless. They have the capacity to shape circumstances in which they exist. That's exactly what Democrats have done here. It's not just in the way that anyone should want. There's zero pushback, so what are people supposed to think? Vance even blamed immigrants for smuggling guns in the U.S., which is the exact opposite of how the gun trafficking works. And no one said a thing. You can blame everything on immigrants now to complete silence. And the more the Democrats actually give the Republicans ample ground to fucking elevate the status, like the danger that immigrants present, the worse things are going to get for immigrants. Okay? It's crazy. What are people supposed to think? If both parties are saying it, then it must be true. Why would you think otherwise? And of course, the average fucking American that doesn't have the capacity to think for themselves or seek out this data is going to go, sorry, I don't trust you. I trust the fucking experts. And the experts keep either staying quiet when the anti-border sentiment is expressed by the Republican Party, or directly contributing to that with right-wing border bills that they are trying to push for. It is very bad if the Democratic Party's proposition is, Morgan is here. It's very bad if the Democratic Party's proposition is, we are going to be the real border protectors, okay? That's very bad. That's very bad for the future of America, because you will never be able to successfully outflank Republicans on patriotism. You will never be able to successfully outflank Republicans on militarism. You will never be able to successfully outflank Republicans on racism. And most of this is also still coming from the underlying notion of white supremacist attitudes. Anyway, it's not a logical conclusion that they've arrived at. It is born not out of empirical evidence, but instead born out of pure right-wing mania. Okay? And here it is. And you saw that anyway. You saw that distinction for Tim Walz's own performance when he was talking about kitchen table issues like lowering the cost of medication or housing. He fucking cracked on that. Okay? He was popping off on that. Dude, while we agree with your views on immigration, swing state voters in Georgia, PA, Michigan, North Carolina, and dude, you're wrong. Okay? You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're just wrong on this issue. Okay? Because if the Democratic Party hadn't capitulated to right-wing framing on the matter, they literally would not be in this circumstance to begin with. But beyond that, every single time they capitulate to right-wing framing on the border, they are, one, losing potential fucking voters that are younger, losing potential voters that are younger Latino voters, specifically in key states, not those states that you mentioned, but in other states. And beyond that, okay, there are plenty of whenever you say that immigrants constitute a national security threat, you are simply, to all of those swing state voters, what you're telling them is that Trump is right, that we do need to build a border wall. Trump is so right that now Kamala Harris wants to build a border wall. And I kept explaining this to you guys over and over again. Okay, if the Republican Party tomorrow came out and said that they're fucking pro-Medicare for all, okay, you wouldn't vote for them. You would vote for the Democrats who would also adopt that position. You'd be like, well, at least I know I trust Democrats more with healthcare than I do with the Republicans. Why the fuck would I ever trust a Republican to pass a progressive fucking bill on Medicare? That's it. I'll give you another example. Do you trust Donald Trump on abortion? He has moderated his position on abortion. Do you trust him? No. So shut the fuck up. All that does is make people understand, yeah, no, abortion is a fucking major problem for the Republican Party. It's very obvious. That's it. That's it. But people don't understand it. Like, they just don't get it. Anyway, JD Vance is saying he got groomed into thinking Trump was Hitler as a 35-year-old Yale graduate man. That's one of my favorite moments of JD Vance, where he's like, I actually also thought Trump was Hitler because the media duped me. I'm stupid. And I no longer think that anymore. You're a fucking idiot. Okay? You're an idiot. And there were plenty of missed opportunities. David Dayen also correctly pointed this out. Missed opportunity by Walz to mention that Vance's own portfolio company shipped jobs overseas. There were plenty of instances where he could have hammered JD Vance as like a liberal elitist. Okay? That's the other thing. JD Vance is a fucking serial liar. He lied about making up stories. He lied about the fucking Haitians eating pets shit. But I hated that they agreed on so much. And then also there was that flub where Tim Walz said he has become friends with school shooters, which I thought was a, funny little moment. Obviously, he's like very nervous. That much is clear. Okay. And that JD Vance reiterated his commitment to being Adolf Hitler over and over and over again.
You got to see me. These folks know me. I'm super passionate about this. The question come up about school shooting. We're talking about everything except school shootings. And I sat as a member of Congress with the Sandy Hook parents, and it was a profound movement. David Hogg is a good friend of mine. You have seen me do this. I was talking about being people where there are school shooters, and I need to be more specific on that, but I am passionate about this. This one, for my wife and I, is just, as teachers, as parents, is so personal.
Yeah, he is friends with one school shooter after last night. His name is JD Vance. In 2018, I led a relational voter program in Wisconsin. We got 30K Latino voters who wanted immigration reform. We got Tony Evers elected and helped Trump out of office in 2020. This year, I've talked to voters with immigrant parents who are parroting liberal talking points. It's infuriating to see the Dems just not correct the narrative on immigration. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. They rely heavily on the fucking Latino voters in Nevada. Okay? The entire culinary union is currently out door knocking for the Kamala Harris campaign. They know. They know they need Latino voters. It's just ironic because they're literally activating Latino voters, some of which come from undocumented backgrounds or have undocumented relatives on U.S. soil. They're literally getting the fucking door knock for a campaign that is going to, work on deporting them. Anyway, but yeah, it was a tactical L, in my opinion, in my estimation, where Tim Walz did not hammer JD Vance at all. And obviously, a lot of dummies love the civility, right? They loved how civil the conversation was. That's not good. That means you love the conversation between JD Vance and Tim Walz. A much better alternative here would at the very least be daggering JD Vance a couple times and separating himself from the moderate position that he was actually presenting himself as on the largest stage that he's been on so far. Tim Walz is already well liked. JD Vance is not. JD Vance basically did a fantastic job of advocating for JD Vance. Why can't Vance or Harris simply say that the people who have harmed the working class, Americans are rapacious billionaires? I think he means Tim Walz or Harris. Are rapacious billionaires like Trump and Peter Thiel, not immigrants who work themselves to the bone trying to give their kids a better life? There's another aspect of this that I'm very frustrated by. Like, Americans love anecdotes, okay? Americans love anecdotes. We're not very intelligent as a collective. And one thing you got to do in that situation is rely on the fucking anecdotes. Republicans do it all the time when they present this like hyper specific, hyper emotional argument about like how rapist the migrants are, the migrant population is. They point to like a literal handful of instances where migrants have done these kinds of heinous crimes, okay, to make it seem like the entire migrant population is engaging in it. And it's very frustrating that the Democrats don't do that. I rarely ever hear from the Democrats about emotional anecdotes. They do it for abortion, and they're very good at it for abortion, okay? But they never do it for someone who has lost their house. They never do it for someone who is on the throes of homelessness as a consequence of being priced out of the market. They never do it for a migrant. They never do it for a migrant worker to humanize these people. Go talk to the fucking United Fruit Workers or some shit. Like, what are you talking about? They never do that. There is never any real stories about how these guys are your fucking neighbors, man. You're shitting on your goddamn neighbors. You're shitting on normal people who are just like you. And the Republican Party does this every day. It's very frustrating. Anyway, another thing I said was Tim Walz convinced me that Minnesota is slightly better than most other places in the nation. Don't know what this means for the national race. Yeah, Tim Walz made the most effective argument, putting Minnesota on the map in a big way. I will say that. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Haven't been able to decide. But he certainly did do a good job with that. You know, I am now a firm believer that, you know, Minnesota is a great place to go live at. Ilhan Omar replied to me there as well. She said, it is. Okay. So that was cool. Where else? What else were we going to do? I can't believe Vance literally used Walz civility and normalcy as a way to draft his public image in a positive and normal light because Walz isn't comfortable with opposing his opponent. I know. Tim Walz has that same fucking Bernie Sanders bullshit where he's just too much of a nice guy. He was so goddamn nice. I mean, at a certain point, I was like, he's behaving like a goddamn Canadian. Okay? Your reaction to it was the best?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA, I was the NRA guy.
He's just like, he's too Minnesotan. He's too Canadian coded. He's too Canadian adjacent. Like, he's just too nice. Stop being so fucking nice, dude. Anyway, but yeah, one of my final statements on the debate was basically that if Dems are going to be this pro-Israel and neuter whatever progressive momentum they would have gotten with the Walz pick, they should have just went with Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro, at the very least, would have fucking locked down Pennsylvania for them, and he would have been a more effective communicator. And I'm being honest about this. Josh Shapiro would have been a more effective communicator of Kamala Harris's dogshit policies, especially on the border and especially on Israel too. And beyond that, he would have done a better job defending. He would have done a better job defending all of like Kamala Harris's policies that like Tim Walz doesn't do a good job defending on. And he would have done a better job against JD Vance as well. Anyway, but yeah, that's what we got. So let's hear what the media analysis is on the matter.
Events still unfolding and uncertainty in the Middle East. The two sparred over who offers stronger leadership at this critical moment.
Our allies understand that Donald Trump is fickle. He will go to whoever has the most flattery or where it makes sense to him. Steady leadership like you witnessed today, like you witnessed in April. Both Iranian attacks were repelled. Our coalition is strong, and we need the steady leadership that Kamala Harris is providing.
Governor Walz can criticize Donald Trump's tweets, but effective, smart diplomacy and peace through strength is how you bring stability back to a very broken world. Donald Trump has already done it once before.
In a presidential campaign that has been anything but civil, this was a strikingly civil and substantive debate.
Well, I've enjoyed tonight's debate, and I think...
Yeah, the media loves this shit. The media loves, like, oh, look at how civil they were. And it was so substantive. They talked about policies. That only helps JD Vance. Straight up. That does not help the ticket for Kamala Harris at all. A substantive civil debate is not helping Tim Walz. Make no mistake. It only makes JD Vance look like a fucking moderate. That's why I'm so frustrated with the fucking debate and the outcome of the debate.
There was a lot of commonality here, and I'm sympathetic to misspeaking on things, and I think I might have with the senator.
Me too, man.
There's one.
It wasn't until 90 minutes into the debate that the contentious topic of the last election came up.
I would just ask that.
You want to know why? You want to know why that's dangerous? Because I'll give you a great example. Okay, my normie friends literally said, these guys are so normal. Why can't they be the ones running? Okay. Do you want to know how devastating that is for Trump's policy, which JD Vance is communicating? That means JD Vance, as I said to you, conducted himself in such a moderate way that people forgot that he was actually speaking on Trump's policies. Okay. JD Vance was able to successfully communicate to a broad subsect of American voters that Trump's policies are actually normal and maybe even good, because Americans are so aesthetic focused. You have to understand, when someone communicates in a very civil manner, okay, when he doesn't do the, oh, they're here? Okay, perfect. Oh, they're not outside, but okay. You need to understand, this is bad. This is really fucking bad. If you hate the Republicans for their policies, this is really bad, okay? If you even hate the Republicans for aesthetic bullshit reasons, this is still bad, because this makes Republicans look normal. You don't want them to look normal. You don't want their fucking Nazi-ass attitude to be normal, ever, okay? Anyway.
Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
That is a damning non-answer.
Vance insisted it is Democrats who are the biggest threat to democracy.
Kamala Harris wants to use the power of government and big tech to silence people from speaking their minds. That is a threat to democracy that will long outlive this present political moment.
A president's words matter. A president's words matter. People hear that. So I think this issue of settling our differences at the ballot box, shaking hands when we lose, being honest about it, but to deny what happened on January 6th, the first time in American history that a president or anyone tried to overturn a fair election and the peaceful transfer of power.
In the first part of the debate, Governor Walz seemed nervous. He had trouble answering a question about whether or not he was in China during the Tiananmen Square uprising.
My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier, or was being a good...
Okay, all right. Motaz, how do I say your name and last name? Because
Motaz Azaiza.
Motaz Azaiza, you smell great.
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, photojournalist Motaz Azaiza is in the building. He's touring the country right now, fundraising for UNRWA, and it is a great honor to have you here. I'm very excited. We got you some snacks. You said you wanted some snacks.
Yeah. So thank you.
Go ahead. I have some like American snacks that I want you to try as well, if you don't mind, but it's up to you. It's cool.
How it's good.
Okay. All right. Motaz, so how long have you been in the States?
Now it's like around 2 weeks. I came before for like also another 2 weeks.
Okay. Cool. So for those of you who don't know, Motaz is a genocide survivor. He is a photojournalist. He is one of the most important voices across the board in humanizing the plight of the Palestinians throughout this entire process. And you're a hero. I have tremendous respect for you. I think what you've done is incredible.
Thanks
I'm gonna hype you up a little bit. I know that probably makes you feel a little uncomfortable, but Motaz was also one of the 100 most influential people of 2024, according to Time magazine. For 108 days, Motaz acted as the world's eyes and ears in his native Gaza. Armed with a camera and a flak jacket marked press, the 25-year-old Palestinian photographer spent nearly 4 months documenting life under Israeli bombardment. Right off the jump, before we get to your background, before we get to how you started as a photojournalist, I do want to talk about the role that I think you and Bizan and many others played in changing the dynamic in the way that I think the Western world views Palestinians as, because I'm Turkish, I'm Muslim. I grew up with a very different understanding, of course, to that in comparison to Americans and in comparison to people in the Western world, in analyzing Israel as not necessarily the most moral state, nor a democratic state, but instead a colonial vestige, a settler colonial apartheid state. And a lot of people, I think, in the aftermath of Israel's incredibly violent Gaza incursion, which is a genocide, started recognizing that reality. But how do they recognize that reality? I think you guys played a big role in making people understand the reality by putting on, by showcasing all of the things that were going on, and by communicating that you were human. And I think that was very effectively, Israel had done a very good job of like refusing to showcase that side. So thank you.
Thank you so much, man, for having me. Unfortunately, the world had to understand what is happening and our suffer on our plot. When we lost like more than 50,000 people and hundreds of thousands left Gaza, hundreds of thousands are injured and thousands also missed. So unfortunately, sacrificed. Yeah, it discovered to the world proto-occupation and what they are doing, but there are also like souls and people who passed. Maybe doesn't worth it to lose all these people, all these souls, just to make a point for the world that we are humans. Because even me, like coming to the country, going around, just to tell the world that we are humans, this is really desperate thing to do. But yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah, no, I totally understand where you come from. Sorry, I'm trying to also adjust your sound levels real quick and increase your microphone volume. So, how do you? Let's start off with your beginnings. You're very young. You're 25 years old.
Yeah,
I'm 33.
So old.
Yeah, I'm an old man. Damn it. Okay, you're tall as hell. Do you ball? No. You don't play basketball?
I used to play, but I'm like so huge, so I didn't find my shoe size in Gaza.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How big are your shoes?
15.
You're a size 15?
Yeah, so I
Damn. I'm 13. I was gonna give you my shoes if you wanted,
no,
but
you're baby for me, man. Like
yeah. Shit, that's crazy. Okay, no, I know a bunch of ballers. I talked to Omar Hertz show, those guys a lot, and Omar balls, and I mean they're still in Gaza. So anyway, what I was gonna say is, how did you start? How did you choose to become a member of the press? Like how did your what about your background says like you were like I wanna become a photojournalist?
It's not my first time, to do this, and I used to cover wars and aggressions in Gaza years before. I used to be like a photographer who wanted to make beautiful pictures, capture the sense of the people, the daily life, because there was a lot of destruction in Gaza, but I wanted to be different, and it was really hard to be different, and especially in an environment like Gaza where you can't even make a plan for 2 days because something will happen, something will ruin all your plans. And like I tried my best to show the nice image from Gaza that the world doesn't know. But a lot of people, unfortunately, also like just know Gaza for wars, bombing, people losing their lives, not for like the beautiful life there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, also to be honest, wasn't easy life or really beautiful, but we're trying always to make it looks beautiful because our resistance is in our existence. So yeah, and like I covered massacres in 2017. I got a shot in my left leg in 2018. I was a volunteer paramedic with the BRCS. 2019, some aggressions, I was like covering it. 2021, for 11 days, there was like a really big escalation after Sheikh Jarrah and what was happening in Jerusalem. And then in 2023, in May, there was also 5 days of aggression. So I was like also documenting this. And yeah, that's genocide.
What is one aspect of living under the Israeli occupation that people don't necessarily know about or talk about that you think is unique?
Yeah, that everything you want to do is a struggle. Me as a photojournalist, I want to buy like a camera lens. I need to wait for 3-4 months. Then I need to pay like triple taxes for Israel. And this is just for me as like a photojournalist. And imagine the other stories of the people. If you want to start a business, if you want to travel, everything will suffer. You can't, me from Gaza, I can't go to the West Bank or Jerusalem. The people from West Bank can't come to Gaza. Also, they can't go to Jerusalem. So we don't have the freedom of movement in our lands. And if you want to go there, you need a permission from Israeli occupation. And you need to be like very sick. You're going to die. So maybe, they can give you the permission. Sometimes they give you, sometimes not. Everything, it's under their control. And yeah, so you don't have your freedom in your land even.
Yeah. What part of Palestine is your family from originally?
I'm originally Gazan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
OG Gazan.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So, I mean, everything you've talked about, everything you've spoken to is very heartbreaking. It's not necessarily, once again, it's not necessarily something that a lot of people were privy to, a lot of people were aware of, I think. And in your analysis of the situation, do you feel like something has changed in the last year, even in terms of the way that people have been mobilized in the Western world?
Yeah, when someone asks me where I'm from, I tell him like Palestine. He don't tell me, oh, Pakistan.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Like a lot of this thing happening to me before, like it's more. So maybe it's like a big shift. A new generation now knows better, and they know like the struggle of Palestinians, and a lot of people support now our right to resist the occupation, because everyone who's living under occupation, you have the right to resist the occupation in every means he can. So yeah, but we couldn't have the real support on the ground. So no army moved his tanks to support us as Palestinians fighting the occupation. No one entered Gaza to say, I will protect the civilians. Yeah, so in a way you feel that no one sees you as a human from outside, that you deserve like to protect you. And we've been like asking for international protection from the Israeli occupation for long years, but nobody did anything. So yeah, okay, we're doing our best just to maybe to survive, to prove to the world that we need your support to resist this occupation and to have our rights in our land.
Yeah. How do you foresee this going? Like, do you feel like something has changed in terms of the way that people view Israel now, in dare I say even contentious terms? Where I believe that that the actions that Israel has taken post October 7 has genuinely dramatically altered, I think, like the continuation of the apartheid in the way that it does.
Yeah.
Do you have some semblance of hope in all of this darkness about potentially a trajectory change for Israel?
Yeah, maybe a lot of countries recognize Palestine as a country now, as a state, because there was a lot of countries didn't recognize Palestine as a state, and a lot of countries going to recognize Palestine as a state. A lot of people now know the truth of Israel as occupation, and a lot of people now understand that our war or fight is not with like Jewish people, it's with Zionism, because there's a lot, thousands of Jewish people, maybe hundreds of thousands of Jewish people supporting us, because there's also Palestinian Jewish people. So because there was like a really big misunderstand before this, because yeah, they're using the words like anti-Semitism to, to block you from doing what you're doing in your country. So yeah, we're raising awareness. I hope maybe there's a weak hope, because it's been like almost a year now, and nobody did anything. Watching people being massacred and like by live shows, 4K footage. And in every minute you see like people being killed, and people, okay, yeah, let's shout free Palestine. Thank you so much. We appreciate this, but we need actions. We don't need words. Yeah, because Israel doesn't get words. Israel get actions. They get funded by billions of dollars from the US, from the West, from weapons factory in the UK and everywhere, in Italy. So they get action. This is why they are like winning. This is why they are like killing people and nobody stopped them. But we need more actions. We don't want words. We don't want comments. We don't want likes. We don't want share. We need actions in the streets and everywhere you could.
What can people do to support Palestine right now in America, in the Western world in general? And the reason why I specifically talk about that, for those of you in the chat that don't understand, is because if you are not inside of the heart of empire, if you are not an American citizen, if you're not like a Western European, your assessment of the situation has always been, especially if you're Muslim, especially if you're from the global South, your assessment of the situation is that, oh, this is just more settler colonialism in the exact same ways that you might have even experienced. But obviously, the Western Hemisphere, specifically Western Europe and America, hold most of the cards in this equation and have been able to keep a lot of people oblivious to the reality of Israel and what Israel's actions are. This is why I specifically talk about that aspect of the equation. So what can people do to support Palestine more effectively?
Everyone could do a thing from his place. I'm not here asking people to sacrifice their lives, but people in Gaza losing their lives for their home. So before maybe 6-7 months, there was an American soldier who burned himself.
Aaron Bushnell.
Yeah, because what's happening. I'm not here asking people to kill themselves for us. No, we want you alive to support us. But they were a really human. He couldn't see what is happening and just keep watching.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for him, for what happened to him. We respect him. We love him. I hope his soul may rest in peace. But there was also like a Canadian who traveled all the way to occupied lands, and he just shouted in front of Israeli soldiers that a free Palestine. They killed him. Yeah. The War Center Kitchen workers who were working in Gaza, a Polish, someone from the UK,
Australian,
yeah, so
British people.
Yeah, they are also got strike and killed in Gaza, and they know because they control the sky. They know what they are doing when Israel killed them. So they killed them on purpose, and nothing changed. Even if they will kill people, the white people, even if Israel will kill the white people in Gaza, want just to support the humans of Gaza.
Yeah.
Nothing will change because the injustice power is so evil and so big. So people should understand who are like controlling them around the world. Also about the boycott, it's not about like the drinks or the food. It's about the money you are like, you don't know. I don't like get mad from the people who, because sometimes they don't know when like they buy something. We are not like boycotting the brand, no, but it's about the brand, how the money, where it's gonna end. So people should now understand. Look, just like Google it.
BDS.
Yeah, just look what's happening around you. If you will not act for Palestine, just act for yourself. Know what you're doing. Know what's happening behind the scenes by your money, and how what your kids are watching, what they are knowing from the world. So because, okay, what's happening in Gaza now? I hear this from you. Yeah, you raise our awareness. We know we didn't know before. Yeah, but even the reason that raised your awareness, just he needs your support. I'm not really sure what to advise people to do because I don't know. I've been like locked under like a heavy besiege for like 18 years. Gaza, I didn't know how the world works. I'm now like out here just trying to raise awareness and to grab all the attention of the world with us because Gaza is now alone. And now is what's happening in Lebanon. They invaded Lebanon, and Israel is continuing what they are doing. Like nobody can stop them. Yeah. So yeah, we need your support in every mean you can.
Okay. Is there anything you want to specifically like? Is there anything that you feel hopeful about in all of this? Or does it? I mean, I know it's a hard thing to ask, especially considering do you still have family members in Gaza?
Yeah, all my family there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost around like 26 of my family, like 18 friends, but yeah, I still have more. I hope they survive this.
Yeah. Yeah. In all of this, I feel like Palestinians, like you said, your existence is resistance.
Yeah.
And Palestinian resilience has been something that is like truly eye-opening for a lot of people around the world, especially being able to exist under such brutal occupation. Is there like what are some of the aspects of this brutal occupation in terms of like something that maybe people have not considered? For example, like what was your childhood like? What kind of schools did you go to? Were you educated in UNRWA school?
No, because I'm not a refugee, so I went to the government school. But now I support UNRWA in every way I can. I've been like for a school named Rodolf Falter. He's like German. He came to Gaza. He built a school, so he wanted to support education there. I finished my school, high school in Gaza. I went to Al-Azhar University in Gaza, which Israel destroyed all of it now. And I got English translation degree, so I can connect with the world by language. I use my skill in photography, and I merge it together so I can, do what I'm doing right now and the photography I'm doing. My child was about shortage in electricity and long days without electricity. Struggling to find things. Let's say, because even like the child in Gaza is not only a child; he's like an old child. He's the one. You have like a big responsibility on you, because like most of the families have there's the range of unemployment in Gaza is so big, like around 80% of people in Gaza are unemployed, and you can't travel easily. You can't, everything is with a struggle. Yeah, you can't get anything easily.
Yeah.
So and 2014, I lost my classmate. His name is Ala. Was just playing football, and artillery bombed his house, and he got killed. He was just 15 years old. Yeah, he just wanted to be like a soccer player. So that's about lose. It's about finding space to play in. It's about like just dreams that maybe Israel will like kill you before you make it. So it wasn't easy, and here we are.
What do you think about America after visiting this time around? What's your opinion?
That's really difficult to judge, because before I came to America, I was believing that everyone there is so evil. There's monsters in the street. But I came here, there is a lot of really good hearts that they want to do more. But even their like official representative doesn't hear from them. Their government doesn't hear from them. So believe me, I'm not judging anyone. I have respect for the people who want to support and to do more, because I met I met a lot of like Jewish people here who want to support us. A lot of the white people who want to do more. They want to understand. But there's a lot of evil people, but at the same time, I don't want to forget that there's a really good people are here. And I just like a word from a Palestinian from Gaza. Image of like Americans for the world is so bad. Yeah. So please work to enhance it, to make it better, because people think that they are all evil. People think that they like to kill people, to invade other countries. So please work on this to make a good image for your country, because you can do it. You can like stop supporting occupation. You can stop paying your taxes. So you're gonna send billions of dollars to Israel to kill civilians in a tents that they don't have even the power to find a water to drink.
Yeah. No, I get that. I understand that completely. Do you have you had some American food since you've been here?
Man, just the burgers here.
Do you like it?
I don't like burgers, but because my stomach hurts till now since I left, because shortage of food, so I don't want to to get a lot of pain. I got like one burger. It was okay, but I spent like 2 hours in the toilet after it. So so I'm sorry.
Oh, don't apologize. I'm not gonna lie. The kebabs here are not as good, unfortunately.
Nothing like home.
Yeah,
But there was like Yemeni food. There's some like Palestinian bakeries here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying, to find something to eat.
Yeah.
Okay. I came from Gaza. There was like no food. I came here. There's a lot of food, but you can't eat it.
Yeah.
It's the same way.
No, that's something that I mean, I like the American food. I'm very Americanized in that regard. Even when I was growing up in Turkey, like I was a burger eater.
Yeah.
So I do miss Turkish food, obviously, every day. And I do eat Turkish food.
I miss the
pretty
Turkish
much.
sweets. I like the sweets in
Oh
Turkey.
yeah. Well, there is some good baklava out here, for sure. There is like some places that I think they like ship it from Turkey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like have you had a burrito yet?
Burrito?
It's like a wrap. They even do it like I think I guess like carnitas is very similar to shawarma.
I got some tacos.
Yeah, it's like a bigger taco, and it has like rice in it.
Okay,
It's crazy.
I'll try it.
You gotta have a breakfast burrito. It's gonna blow your mind. Wait, you're Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so no bacon, but
No bacon. Yeah.
no bacon. Everything else. Yeah. Okay, you can't have the carnitas. Yeah. You gotta do al pastor, and then we're gonna have you back to do a snack tier list.
Yeah,
of like
should,
what made your stomach hurt the least out of everything that you had.
Like anything with oil, anything with like meat. Sometimes the water here makes my. my
Albert. Sorry.
So, okay.
No al pastor either.
Yeah.
My bad. What were you saying?
Like anything with oil. So I'm not sure. Everything that I eat here hurts. So
yeah,
maybe the problem is with me. I'm sure because a lot of people eat food and they're good.
Well, I mean, yeah, you grew up in Gaza.
And, yeah.
I feel like your diet was very different than the average American diet.
Yeah, because like the diet in Gaza was different the last time because I lost around like 12 kilograms in less than 3 months. So yeah, it was different. But the food like in Gaza, it's really, you find equality there. Yeah, our food is really special. And I hope everyone could like one day to try it in Gaza or Palestine, not just outside.
Do you watch anime?
No.
You don't watch anime? Morgan made me ask that question. She's over there.
Oh, Captain Man. Okay, anime. Okay, because no, not anymore. When I was young.
When you were young, you were.
Yeah,
bro, you're still young. You're 25. What do you mean? When I was young?
Like I'm 25, but no, I don't have time to anything now. I'm just so there's no time for.
What about like American movies and stuff? Like
I learned a lot of English through the movies, especially
Me
like
too.
The American movies. So yeah, like I'm now trying to watch Prison Break. I know it's so old. But,
Prison Break.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it. Yeah.
You got to get up to date, man. You gotta watch like Breaking Bad or something.
I should, but it's like so too long, you know.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
too
it's
long.
a lot of stories and yeah.
Or Sopranos.
Yeah, I need time.
Dude, there's so much. There's so much that I'll give you a list of stuff.
I watched Matilda. Matilda was good.
Matilda?
Yeah.
What?
Just like for an hour and 40 minutes, so it was.
Yeah. Okay. So you played a little bit of basketball. You didn't play a lot of sports.
Yeah, I played volleyball. I played like soccer, but yeah, then my sports not like my type right now.
You're a singer?
No, not singer.
You're good at singing? What is your favorite song?
No, like I like the script, Imagine Dragons. Some Arabic music, but no, I'm not a good singer. Yeah, just sing when I'm under the shower. That's it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good singer either, but I still do it every now and then. Yeah. What's your favorite soccer team?
Like I like the Spanish team, like Madrid. But yeah, when Ronaldo got out, I'm off. I don't follow any soccer news anymore.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, because I like the way the person plays. Not.
Oh, you're like me. I like LeBron.
Yeah,
I like LeBron more than I like the teams that he plays for. Like, I don't care.
Like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a Ronaldo enjoyer. Have you met? Are you familiar with a content creator by the name of I Show Speed?
I Show Speed, no.
No. Okay. He's a big Ronaldo fan, and he's also a big fan of Palestine as well.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Oh, so you have seen him?
Yeah, he's always screaming, you know.
Yeah, he's always screaming. He's always going "Free Palestine."
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool that you know Speed. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
He's also a streamer like myself, but I mean, he's a little bit crazier than me. He's a lot younger, so that's cool that you know that. So you're also, by the way, chat, if you want to donate to UNRWA, there's a link that you can donate to as well. Let's talk about UNRWA for a second, because a lot of people don't know. Like, a lot of people are just fed whatever the media is telling them.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, my dog is my groomer just brought my dog in right at this very moment. No, don't worry about it. Do you like dogs?
Not very much.
Not very much. Okay, we won't bring the dog in.
No.
This is a big old dog.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I wish he don't want me to play with his belly. So yeah, if he'll stay around, that's fine.
Oh no, she's very friendly. That's not a problem. But hold on, Morgan. You want to take over here for a second while I.
Yeah. Hey everyone, you hear me? Yeah, it's perfect. All right, cool. Well, I'm Layla. I work with UNRWA. I'm the senior director of communications, and I work with this guy Motaz.
Hello.
Hey, I guess I'm going to be a sub-in for Hassan while he takes care of his dog. So I want to tell you about our work. UNRWA is the UN agency for Palestine refugees. UNRWA USA is the nonprofit that supports that work here in the U.S. through fundraising and advocacy activities. So we're here in California.
Good.
Oh, you can't hear me? We're here in California. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, stay close to the mic. I'm not used to this, y'all. We are here in California on a tour. It's called Gaza Through My Lens, where we're taking Motaz around to different cities in the U.S. We started in Houston. Before that, we did our major Gaza 5K. It's a walk run for mental health in Dallas. We raised $500,000 for mental health. And then we moved on to Houston to do 2 speaking events there. We did one in Anaheim yesterday. 2,000 of you showed up, so thank you. We have another event tonight. Then we're headed to New York City for a couple events, and we'll close out in D.C., where Motaz has the opportunity to really share his story in Gaza through his lens and help people understand, you know, what it's like through the lens of one person, although he represents millions. So, Motaz, how has the tour been for you so far? And do you want to say anything about our fundraising efforts?
Yeah, like flying is really bad. Yeah, but it was meeting a lot of people who want to do more and support. And I'm happy that I'm raising awareness also about the role of UNRWA, because it's like a government on the ground, not government, it's an NGO that provide people with food aid, medical support, educational support. So yeah, they are really doing a big work on the ground. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So this is why I choose to continue and support them, because even me, like in December, I got some food aid from them for myself, for my family. So and Israel trying to shut it down because it's the only organization that recognizes the right of return for Palestinian refugees. So yeah, this is why I'm supporting them very well.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hassan, you want to get back on in here?
Sure.
So I was going to mention real brief that UNRWA is providing it's the backbone of humanitarian assistance in Gaza. It's providing 60% of the aid. When you're donating through this fundraiser that we got going on right now through Tiltify, you are providing that support. And the American people have really stepped up since the U.S. government defunded earlier this year. And so we've been able to give $50 million from people like all of you here on this stream and all around the world to provide for this assistance, which is saving lives in Gaza. I've had the chance to go 6 times myself. That's super rare for a Palestinian American, and we'd love to tell you more about it. But just check out our work at UNRWA USA. You'll see more from Motaz. Sorry that our events are sold out. We'll be posting clips and kind of vlog from the whole tour so you can get a sense of what we're doing. But we need you to engage with us from wherever you are in the world to make sure that we can show more Palestine refugees that Americans care. So we really so thankful for the platform. I'm seeing like the comments, they're going nuts. These comments are crazy. How do we keep up with this? I got to pass the mic to our real host. Thank you. Shout out to Shash. Sharia, I know you're a big Hasanabi fan, so thank you for being here, y'all.
Thank you, Layla.
I have a bunch of diet sodas and stuff if you want to try it.
Yeah, but like when I'm traveling, my stomach keep hurts. So whenever, it's real bad.
I feel like this would take you out. Dr. Pepper cream soda, 0 sugar. It's like a diet. Oh, by the way, that's my dog. That's Kaya right there.
Hi.
She's very friendly. She's a puppy, but she's pretty big. So
This is a puppy.
Yeah, she's a puppy. Yeah.
She's taller than me, man.
she's a big girl. She's like 40 kilos, I think, or maybe a little bit over that. But anyway, yeah. The reason why I brought up UNRWA, aside from the fact that there are people here from UNRWA, is that it is the backbone of Palestinian society. It operates in a similar way to how World Central Kitchen operates, in the way that like when World Central Kitchen goes to different places, they will hire people. They will hire like the local population and go to local kitchens and source the food products from local kitchens. And UNRWA operates in a similar capacity and has been operating in a similar capacity for a very long time in terms of like the 13,000 people, right? I believe. Yeah, just in how many people across all fields? Oh, yeah. 30,000 Palestinians working across the entire region, 13,000 people just in Gaza alone, from schools to every aspect of like Palestinian life. So when Israel, which has which has been very invested in like trying to shut down the funding of UNRWA and remove UNRWA's legitimacy for a multitude of different reasons. Like when they were able to successfully do that by just straight up lying, and the American government, following through on that, it was yet another, in my opinion, yet another blow, and yet another way to increase the hurt that it was causing to the Palestinian population. But yeah, we have a direct donation, not even the Tiltify link. They put the UNRWAUSA.org/donate link on there. Is that okay? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the one. UNRWAUSA.org/donate. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have any other? Yeah, I just swapped the Tiltify now. Okay. Does he have a photograph he would most like to share with us? Do you have a photo that you want to show everybody? Like, what's your?
There's a lot of photos and a lot of stories, but yeah, if you can,
I can pull it over here as well.
Go like to my Instagram maybe.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about some stories of the people.
Do you smoke?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Do you drink? Oh, you don't drink.
I don't drink.
You're a good
I don't
Muslim.
smoke.
Unlike me.
I'm trying to be a good Muslim. So.
I'm a bad Muslim.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you want to talk about here?
Oh yeah, go down. Because yeah, here it is. This one.
This one?
No. Yeah, this one maybe.
Wait, I don't.
That's a graphic, yeah.
The problem is like on Twitch,
you'll be banned or what?
Yeah, I can't show a lot of the photos.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, that are graphic.
Okay, go down and find something else maybe, but most of it is graphic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You remember Shida Tlaib?
Yeah.
She's wonderful. I love her.
She's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, go down. You'll find more. Maybe we can talk about it. Yeah, because most of it is graphics, but there's something on Time magazine if you will show it. It's for a girl under the rubble, or like the people I lost. So yeah, there's a lot. We can't just pick.
Is there any in particular that you want to show from here?
Maybe I go down a little bit. Here, just like this, maybe video or
this video right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like this video, like for a mother, she's like grabbing her 2 children, like the baby's thing, and for more than 18 kilometers she was walking and she passed from like an Israeli checkpoint, and yeah, she just kept grabbing them and bowling them till like more than 18 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah. So she had like all her home in her bags because she left her home, and yeah, as you can see, the video like explains itself.
It's crazy. It's 11 miles for you Americans. There's a photojournalist in the chat that says, I'm a photojournalist covering protests in Michigan. What advice does Motaz have for other ways journalists can cover the genocide's effects in the U.S.?
Yeah, you can push in your government to send you to Gaza so you can work there on the ground, show the truth. Because yeah, if the government give Israel billions of dollars, at least let Israel allow the U.S. journalists to go to Gaza to cover. And they should not kill you there. So that's what I believe, man. But thank for everything you do.
Yeah. Is one of your photos was the Times top 10 photos of 2023?
Yeah.
Here, we'll show that one. This is a young girl stuck under her house in the rubble. This is your photo.
Yeah, this is my photo. I used my camera to find her. I used like the slow shutter speed, the camera, so I can grab more light and find her because they couldn't find her. She was screaming, but no one knows where she. So yeah, thanks for the technology.
Yeah. The link is broken to donate. Why? What's going on? What's wrong with the link, chat? Hold on, let me see. Is it not working? Is the Tiltify link not working? Oh, okay. Yeah, unlocked it. Doors open. Okay. People are saying it works fine. Disconnect account, connect correctly, and make live changes. What? Okay. I'm a photo editor at the New York Times. I'm wondering if Motaz could share with us the damage the media narrative around Gaza has caused and how us as photographers and reporters can do better to cover the story.
Not sure, because like New York Times, maybe sometimes I some points on them, but they're also trying to catch up to show more. Yeah, like even like once of time CNN showed like videos of young children were just playing and Israeli drone killed them. And they showed it for even it was graphics, but they, you know, sometimes you just like show it to get more views and to make people satisfied about them, to not keep attacking them. Then they don't post anything. They go back to be on the Israeli side. So I hope they're just not manipulating with this, because this is our people's life. And yeah, if anyone think he's a human, I don't think he should like do this to other people, to use their suffer, enough just to get more views or likes or shares.
Yeah. Do you feel like you actually brought up something that I talk about quite frequently, which is that the media, not like the theory, it has the theoretical responsibility of like showing the truth, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. But the real responsibility, the real goal of the media overall, in my opinion, in America especially, is to create an air of objectivity.
Yeah.
So they can come across as legitimate, so they can, in more nefarious ways, lie when they need to.
Yeah.
Right. And that is the way I see it for the most part. And I think you kind of brought that up when you said like sometimes they do show the truth.
Yeah.
And I think as a Palestinian, do you feel like they are potentially showing the truth in an effort to maintain that legitimacy because people are yelling at them?
Yeah, exactly.
So that they can continue being like, you know, so they can continue using passive voice whenever they talk about like Israel striking densely populated civilian areas.
That is what's really happening. This is what I believe is happening for myself. Personally, this is what I believe in.
Yeah. And there are, by the way, chatters, yes, this is something that I repeat all the time. There are great journalists out there, even in the New York Times as well. It's not entirely in their hands, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Whenever they want to cover a story in a particular manner, there is still obviously going to be editorial control that shuts it down. Are you familiar with Ta-Nehisi Coates? Ta-Nehisi Coates.
No.
So he's a liberal journalist. He actually even worked for The Atlantic, which is the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic is the Israeli prison guard, former Israeli prison guard. And he had written extensively about, in the past, reparations, and had used Israel as a successful example of how Germany paid reparations to Israel in the creation of the Israeli state in the aftermath of the Holocaust. But then Ta-Nehisi Coates actually went to the West Bank and saw for himself what the situation looked like. And as an adult in his 30s, he went there and he was shocked by the realities. And now, as a very famous journalist and a writer, he has now basically made it his life's mission to correct the record on that, and has apologized profusely time and time again for the role that he found himself playing about, you know, legitimizing this apartheid state. And it's really interesting watching his reception, originally that was very positive, like broadly very popular reception, change almost overnight as soon as he started saying the truth, that Israel is an apartheid state.
Yeah, now look, like what happened in Iraq after millions of people got killed, and now then they couldn't find like any mass destruction missiles, and then Donald Trump showed and he said there was no mass destruction weapons there. Now, you know, like, but no one even sued, like, what his name even
George W. Bush.
Yeah, about what he did there. So yeah, the same for Tony. Okay, thanks for going and discovering the truth by himself, but also others can go. Everyone can go there and discover and see the truth on the ground. But they just don't want to sacrifice some time in airplane to go and see the truth. If you just like don't believe media, go by yourself there and see. Like others, there are a lot of people went there and saw the truth. But the problem is with the one even who goes there and stays on his right, who's like what he believes in, and he like continues to support Israel and occupying every land in Palestine, stealing more lands, making new settlements, and not allowing us to move even in our lands. So me as a Palestinian, I need like a permission to move in my country, and I can't get. Yeah. So it's a lot. People can understand, people can see, people can know. So if they want, they can find out. Yes, come from themselves, not me who just going around running towards the people. Yeah, please come and see and understand. No.
Yeah. Is there anything that we missed that you want to talk about? I know you got a busy day today ahead of you. You're gonna be doing a little bit of traveling.
They are just. I want people to know that there's a really amazing people in Gaza and in Palestine. They deserve a better life, and hopefully you can help us as a youth. I'm not gonna say just like Israel killing women, children, elders. No. Also, I want to say that Israel killing youth, the Palestinian youth. So yeah, I want your support for Palestinian youth, and our life is just not like a tent. This is not our lives, and we didn't used to that. I will never used to that. Yeah, we had nice houses and nice cars, and we eat the best food, have the nicest coast ever, have a nice sea, but Israel is not allowing us to find our way to live just a normal life like anyone else. And whenever we don't have peace, no one will have peace. Believe me, we'll keep pissing you off till you support us to have peace and to get our rights in our land. Yeah, that's it. We're not terrorists. We just want peace, and Palestinians doesn't have peace. No one should have peace. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Motaz, for
Thanks so much, man.
coming on. This was wonderful. Let's take a photo side by side so people can know how tall you are.
Okay.
It's crazy, but we'll do it over there. All right, everybody. I'll be back in 1 second. Someone said thank you, Motaz, for visiting Belfast and Derry.
Oh, yeah.
You went to Ireland.
Yeah, they're so amazing, and
you're like Ireland more than America, I suspect.
Yeah, so people nice, you know, like but in these circumstances I can't find any way that suits me. I just want to go back to Gaza. Yeah, just want to go back.
Yeah, Felix is gonna be here in a little bit, but before that happens, we're gonna turn our attention back to the we're gonna turn our attention back to the election. Tell Frogan as a community, we really thank her for organizing this. Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, shouts out to Frogan for linking us up. This was great. And I hope you guys were able to learn something new today, as always. And now we are going to get back to our regular programming and talk about. Please consider buying new mics. This was awesome, by the way. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. We're going to get back to talking about the election. Mics were fine, okay? Y'all are fucking stupid.
Good member of Congress. Those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests, went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
In contrast to his often combative tone on the campaign trail.
May I respond to that? First of all, Governor, I agree with you. Amber Thurman should still be alive, and there are a lot of people who should still be alive, and I certainly wish that she was.
Senator Vance appeared measured and polite.
I'm sure Governor Walz joins me in saying our hearts go out to those innocent people, our prayers go out to them, and we want as robust and aggressive as a federal response as we can get.
But in a recent poll, more than half of registered voters, 51%, said they view Vance.
I think that the Hong Kong stuff was like really weird. I think what he could have just simply said is that he misspoke or something and just like moved on. Why do we give a fuck about the Tiananmen Square thing? We don't. This is one of those instances where the media chooses to, like, the media desperately tries to find like a equilibrium, right? Where they're like, well, we're doing JD Vance stuff, so we might as well like find something to showcase how equal and even-footed we are on this issue. Okay? And that's precisely what's going on. They're like, oh, well, you said that you were there at the Tiananmen Square protests one time many, many years ago. Like, it's minuscule. It's totally minuscule in comparison to like all of the stuff that you have for JD Vance that he regularly. It's neutrality, not objectivity. Exactly. But they sell it. All right, bye. They sell it as though it is objectivity, but it actually is neutrality. And yeah, like JD Vance, even in that debate, said numerous fucking times a litany of unhinged things. Okay? For example, he said the housing crisis is caused by immigrants, that undocumented immigrants are responsible for the housing crisis. That is a ridiculous position. Okay? That is a preposterous position. You automatically are making it seem like it's like saying the housing crisis is being caused by people moving to an area, okay? Like not just undocumented immigrants or documented immigrants, just anyone moving to an area. It is ridiculous to mention that without stating that like we are not actually keeping up with the additional demand. And it's especially ridiculous when your argument is in recognition of that reality, that there is need for more supply of housing, which is why one of your policies is literally to create 3 million additional housing units, okay? And there is a litany of different issues that also artificially limit the supply of available housing anyway. I think that overall so much insanity goes unchecked whenever immigrants are discussed. They are simply a non-entity. They're not human. Like they're not viewed or communicated about as though they are human, but instead they are some sort of barbaric horde, a monolithic force of evil, that they are operating within the boundaries of the United States as like a monolithic evil force. This is a very dangerous idea to leave unchecked. Okay? It is at the heart of fascist thought. And I am genuinely frustrated. I'm genuinely frustrated that this is not something that people are working to solve, like something that they're working to solve in terms of the communication, and it is leading America down a dangerous path. Hold on, I'm posting a photo of me and Motaz. Oh, it's right there, I think, under the table. There's a bag under the table. I don't know whose it is, but that might be it. All right, bye. Could you please explain why it's ridiculous to say that an increase in immigration causes increasing housing prices, like doesn't increase demand, increase pricing equilibrium? The reason why it's ridiculous is because the types of housing that like the undocumented migrants occupy in general are not the types of housing that you're fucking staying in anyway. Like, this is not a real problem in general. They, for the most part, are overwhelmingly living in the absolute most desolate, the absolute worst conditions in the fucking slums. Okay? They're not purchasing the houses, they're renting them. And if that is a problem, if they are impacting the supply, you don't communicate it like that. You don't ever, like, if there was a massive amount of people in a normal society, if there was a massive amount of people from, like, I don't know, California moving to fucking Texas, for example, does that actually raise housing prices? Certainly. Okay. But the problem isn't fucking stopping Californians from moving to Texas. That's not how you deal with that issue. The way you deal with that issue instead is by increasing this fucking supply of housing. Okay? That's it. Anyway, bro, this guy's a fucking troll for sure. Look at his fucking chest. No way. I agree.
Vance unfavorably, while just 32%.
Like, the immigrants are responsible for the housing supply diminishing. Unironically, is in the same vein as, like, immigrants are responsible for drug trafficking into the United States of America. They comprise a tiny percentage of the available housing that they occupy. Okay? And yet they are made to be the fucking problem in this story. Just like they are not responsible for the drug trafficking into the United States at all. And yet this is improper fucking framing. Oh, who do you think is more responsible for diminishing housing supply in urban areas? Okay? Who?
So one of the most
do you think it's the immigrants, or do you think it's motherfucking Airbnbs, for example? Who do you think is more responsible? Airbnb or undocumented migrants? I thought you said this debate didn't matter. Why does everyone seem to care so much about it? Is it because it's just a news story? I mean, people care about it because, like, these are two unknown entities overall. This is a unique election cycle in terms of, like, having a very truncated campaign on the one hand, the Kamala Harris campaign, with a relatively new, lesser known person that is supposed to be the VP of this campaign going up against J.D. Vance, who was also relatively new on the scene, Green senator, one-term senator overall, very young. And on top of that, Trump is old. Who knows what happens to him, you know? He keeps having assassination attempts. So, like, J.D. Vance could very well be the next president if something happens to Donald Trump. So people are interested, I think.
Things about the debate last night was that the Trump-Vance housing plan, the plan that Vance put out repeatedly, was mass deportations. They were going to lower the cost of housing, make more housing available by mass deporting millions of people.
This is straight up Nazi shit, by the way. Like, I hope y'all understand. I'm not even remotely exaggerating when I say this is straight up Nazi Germany, okay? Oh, we'll take all of the things that the ill-gotten gains of the Jews, okay? Because we deserve it. We deserve those gains instead. Pre-watched? What do you mean pre-watched? I'm pre-watching history, I guess. You should pre-watch the top of the hour ad break, okay? At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Okay, here's the 3-minute ad break now. Did you see this? Yeah, I did. The Daily Trojan article, it's up there. You pre-watched history? Yes, I think that's called learning. Yeah. Okay, I think we should change the Tiltify link to just the UNRWA link, because the direct UNRWA link, because it's fucking tilting me. How many chatters are like, it's not working. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on there, and I'm annoyed. All right, let's continue.
The CBS even put it up on the screen as like a legitimate housing policy. Democrats want tax credits and assistance for construction, and Trump and Vance want to deport lots of people to alleviate demand, treating it like a legitimate policy. Now, we can talk about it as a policy, right? As a policy, it doesn't make any fucking sense. First of all, it strains credulity to think that there are millions of homes owned by unauthorized immigrants. I think according to Freddie Mac, the nation is short 3.8 million homes to rent or buy. So you're telling me that some significant portion of that 3.8 million are owned by unauthorized immigrants who don't have social security numbers, who don't have tax identification numbers, who may not have bank accounts, right? I'm lucky enough, blessed enough to own a home, and in addition to having to save a lot of money over a very long time, I had to have all this paperwork, all this legal documentation. And you're telling me that people who are not in the country legally have all this documentation to be able to buy a home. It's dumb. It's stupid. Setting that aside, right, if you were to deport 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million people, you would cause, especially unauthorized immigrants, you would cause the American construction industry to collapse. There would be very little labor for construction, which would cause the price of building anything in this country, and especially homes, to skyrocket. So not only would this not make a dent on supply, but it would likely cause the price of housing to grow by huge amounts, by leaps and bounds. But kind of the policy thing is almost besides the point, because tell me if this sounds familiar to you. The plan to make America great again, to provide housing for all, for the many citizens who need it, is to go home by home, deport millions of people, and essentially take their homes and provide it for native-born citizens. There's a name for that. There's a name for that. It's in German. It's Lebensraum. And when you think of some of the other stuff they've suggested, Trump saying we need a single night of letting the police go wild to deal with everything. We joke that he's talking about the purge, but there's another way you can look at that, the name for it. I'll use the English name here, Night of Broken Glass. You can't tell me that these people aren't calling for what they're calling for.
They are, straight up. They are, okay? Absolutely, without a shred of doubt, that is precisely what the fuck they're doing, okay? In terms of American domestic policy, that is exactly what they're doing. The issue is, why the fuck is it just Jamel Bowie talking about it? Why the fuck is Kamala Harris not talking about it? Why the fuck is the Democratic Party not talking about it? Well, I'll tell you why. Okay? The reason why the Democrats are not talking about it in these terms is because they are also now in the tank for a lighter version of it. And I am very frustrated by this reality that I am watching unfold in front of my eyes. Okay? I do not like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it one bit, because even if this was to be successful politics, which it is not, because it's not successful to lean on the right wing, right wing sentiments. You're not going to actually convince voters to vote for you, because if they are anti-immigrant voters, they are voting for a party that has captured that market completely. Okay? It's called the Republican Party. All you are doing in that circumstance is basically prime your voters into also believing that there is a major problem when there isn't one. Okay? All you're doing is feeding your own base of support. All you're doing is feeding your own fucking base of support an unimaginable amount of ammunition to maybe even turn to the other party. That's why it is very frustrating when I see liberals in this community that probably, and like, for example, that one guy who was not even a liberal, who was a leftist, he said, advocate for why the Democrats are doing this and why it's successful campaign strategy, not recognizing that, like, literally, as we look through his communications a couple of years prior, he was on the exact opposing side of that argument. That is what happens when the Democrats capitulate to right-wing framing. Okay? Most people are not independent thinkers, even if they fancy themselves to be independent thinkers. Okay? They just basically repeat what television man tells them. The broadest majority of the population don't even give a fuck, obviously. But the ones who do care, the ones who are supposedly the educated, high propensity voters, right? Those people are being fed this propaganda. Those people adopt these positions by watching television man tell them these positions. 1 in 5 undocumented workers, 1.4 million people are employed in construction. That's more than 10% of the entire labor force and 32% of roofers. With the industry already facing a shortage of about 500,000 workers, Trump's deportation scheme would grind the construction of new housing to a halt, turbocharging the affordability crisis. The issue here is that people only fucking talk about this aspect of it. And I think that this is a way that, like, in the minds of a lot of Republicans proves the problem. They're like, oh, well, they're taking our jobs then. Here it is. Okay? For the criticism that people just adopt what the TV man tells them, aren't we doing the same thing with you? Yeah, but my opinions are correct. But also beyond that, I also urge you always to go and seek out the truth on your own. I provide additional evidence to you about where my beliefs come from. Okay? Even if I personally pull data from the top of my mind, when I pull this shit from Top Dome, my editors slap it. Okay? They put the actual fucking info. They literally put the information of where I'm getting this info from on the edited YouTube videos on my YouTube page. That's the difference. And I still ultimately urge you to go and seek out the truth on your own. I don't like the angle of, like, undocumented immigrants are, you know, basically fucking great slave labor either. I don't like that at all. I think that in and of itself is a problem that also needs to be solved by documenting them and increasing their wages alongside the rest of the American working class. But anyway, let's get back to this conversation, last night's debate.
And said they view Walz unfavorably. Governor Walz aimed his jabs at the top of the Republican ticket.
If you're going to be president, you don't have all the answers. Donald Trump believes he does. My pro tip of the day is this. If you need heart surgery, listen to the people at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, not Donald Trump. And the same thing goes with this. And I ask you out there, teachers, nurses, truck drivers, or whatever, how is it fair that you're paying your taxes every year and Donald Trump hasn't paid any federal tax in the last 15 years, and the last year as president? That's what's wrong with the system. There's a way around it, and he's bragged about that.
Most Americans didn't know either of them just a few months ago, but their names are now on lawn signs all over America, and each was parodied on.
It's worth pointing out that I'm sure Hasanabi will also bring you up on, will also post you up, is that Hezbollah is not staying idle. They're also attacking Israeli before they were evacuated from the scene. But it's worth pointing out that I'm sure Hasanabi will also...
That's TRT World, not Al Jazeera. And the dude who's talking is a Turkish guy. What the fuck? Why is there a random Hasanabi mention on TRT?
But it's worth pointing out that I'm sure Hasanabi will also bring you up on, will also post you up, is that Hezbollah is not staying idle. They're also attacking Israeli...
That is wild. Oh, what the fuck is this?
Saturday Night Live this weekend.
Folks, I haven't been this excited since I got a 10% rebate on a leaf blower from Menards. What can I say? I got that BDE, Big Dad energy.
How much do we love Donald Trump? You know, just this afternoon, he told me, JD, you're like a son to me because I don't like you and I'm stuck with you.
Before he became Trump's running mate, Vance was most recognized for his best-selling memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, made into a Netflix movie.
Is this seat taken? Go ahead. Philip Roseman, JD Vance.
A Yale-educated lawyer and Silicon Valley venture capitalist.
Vance without a beard, bro. That's like, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad, dog. It is so goddamn bad. Holy moly, it is bad.
The 40-year-old Republican from Ohio was elected to the Senate just 2 years ago.
Making me
Once
sick.
a never-Trumper, now a fierce defender of all things Trump.
I've disagreed with the president, but I've also been extremely open about the fact that I was wrong about Donald Trump.
Walz, who is 60, was a former teacher and high school football coach for over 2 decades before running for office. He served in the United States House of Representatives, a Democrat serving in a rural district that leans Republican, becoming governor of Minnesota.
I grew up in small rural Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on.
Both men are military veterans, their Midwest backgrounds contrasting with the coastal upbringings of Trump and Harris. Both brought onto the ticket to appeal to voters from Middle America. One of the few heated exchanges came on a...
Yeah, the problem is until this last night's debate, and I don't even know if his like approval ratings will boost in the Midwest. One guy was seen as like a real Midwest guy. The other guy is seen as like the exact type of annoying rat fucker that is from there, but then comes back to just basically... one thing that I always repeat about JD Vance is JD Vance types and Pete Buttigieg types, when they come to your town, you're going to lose your job, okay? That's how most people in the Midwest see these fuckers, okay? They see them as like these suited up motherfuckers who are coming over and the mine is closing down, okay? There's going to be an elimination of redundancies. That's it. He's got real fucking McKinsey consultant vibes. Carpetbagger. Cook political swing state polls. AZ for Arizona, Harris is up 2. Gallego up 13. GA Trump up 2. Harris is up 3. Slotkin's up 4 in Michigan. Nevada, Harris is up 1. Rosen's up 13. North Carolina, Harris and Trump are tied, but Stein is up plus 24 for the governor's race. Pennsylvania, Harris is up only 1. Casey's up 7. Wisconsin, Harris is up 2. Baldwin plus 2. That's also a little bit scary. But, you know, it's not looking too great, I would say.
Abortion and reproductive rights. Vance, who has in the past favored a national abortion ban, softened his stance to try to align with Trump.
I want us as a Republican Party to be pro-family in the fullest sense of the word. I want us to support fertility treatments. I want us to make it easier for moms to afford to have babies.
Well, Walz continued to attack Trump for appointing the judge.
It's not Jill Stein yet. No, it's Josh Stein, the guy running for governor. What do you guys think that North Carolina is having a fucking green resurgence? Like, what are you, crazy?
Justices that overturned Roe v. Wade.
This issue is what's on everyone's mind. Donald Trump put this all into motion. He brags about how great it was that he put the judges in and overturned Roe versus Wade. 52 years of personal autonomy. And then he tells us, oh, we send it to the states. It's a beautiful thing.
The latest polling averages showing very tight margins across all 7 battleground states. At one point, the two seemed to be having a real conversation about a tough issue, gun violence in America.
These are things that shouldn't be that difficult. You can still keep your firearms, and we can make a difference. We have to. If you're listening tonight, this breaks your heart.
Senator.
Tim, first of all, I didn't know that your 17-year-old witnessed a shooting. I'm sorry about that, and I hope that he's doing okay. Christ have mercy. It is awful.
While both agreed there's a problem with gun violence,
sometimes it just is the guns. It's just the guns, and there are things that you can do about it. But I do think that this is one, and I think this is a healthy conversation.
Do you think a split ticket is actually possible with Stein up 24? It's a unique one, but governor races usually are, even if they're on the same ticket, they oftentimes have the capacity to be separate totally from the rest of the ballot because people have a personal connection to their governors. Like you have blue states with red governors, red states with blue governors. The most popular governor is a literal fucking Democrat in goddamn Kentucky, right? Mark Robinson, on the other hand, however, is like very much a Trumpian style gubernatorial race. Like he's backed by Donald Trump. He is very Trumpian. So that might create in the minds of North Carolinians like more resistance against voting for Trump.
I think there's a capacity to find solutions on this that work, protect the Second Amendment, protect our children. That's our priority.
There was no real agreement about
why is the polling better for Trump now than the other two elections. A couple different reasons. One, perhaps most importantly, is the fact that the pollsters are trying to make sure that they don't run into the same problems that they did in like 2016, especially. So they're over polling in some instances, almost like they're weighing for an underrepresentation of Republican voters. I think that's part of the reason. They're just trying to make sure that they're not going to look silly. Other than that, I mean, Kamala Harris is not running a very good campaign. It's just, I don't know what else to say. So he's not actually that popular. I mean, he's not a very popular person. That much is true.
How to address it.
We have to increase security in our schools. We have to make the doors lock better. We have to make the doors stronger. We've got to make the windows stronger. And of course, we've got to increase school resource officers, because the idea that we can magically wave a wand and take guns out of the hands of bad guys, it just doesn't fit with recent experience.
With the one and only vice presidential debate over, both candidates are now back out to the battleground states.
Turning now to our wisest of all wise heads on all things political, our chief political analyst, John Dickerson. He also hosts the Daily Report with John Dickerson on CBS News 24.
You got to keep the bar low, Tony.
Not you true. Are a burbling fountain of all wise things. Please tell us, what were your takeaways last night?
Well, it was a kind of a, basically everything that's been reported so far. It was civil. It was, and that's notable mostly from J.D. Vance, because you look at who's running at the top of the ticket. So it's like you work for a boss who comes in in cut-off jeans every day, and then a guy comes in wearing a suit and tie, and you think, wow, it's like the old days. It's like it used to be, where people believed in the norms of civility. They debated politics. That isn't to say that there wasn't a lot of traditional stuff that irritates people about politics, but it was so much different than what we've heard from Donald Trump out on the trail. So that was the biggest thing. I think probably, though, it kind of passes through and we move back into the race. That doesn't really change anything much.
To me, one of the most talked about moments of the night was January 6th and the difference of opinion between the two. J.D. Vance seemed to say, look, I want to move forward, stop looking back, accusing the media like we always bring it up all the time. Can you still say that January 6th is in the past?
Yeah, J.D. Vance said he's focused on the future. So a couple of things. One, when you spend a lot of the debate talking about how great things were in the Trump years, you can't then say, wait, but I'm focused on the future. You can't just remember the stuff you say is the good stuff. The second thing is, who's focused on this a lot and built his whole campaign around it is Donald Trump. So he's quite focused on this. But then there are two reasons I think this is really important, that Senator Vance couldn't give a simple yes, Donald Trump lost the election. Simplest question in the world. Still can't do it. And we interviewed Senator Tom Cotton, Republican from Arkansas, couldn't do it either. This is why it matters. Two things. When you talk to national security experts who are worried about violence around the next election, they say the biggest thing fueling the possibility for violence around the next election is the lie that Donald Trump won the last one. So that fuel is out there in real time now. And then when you look at the answers from Vance and Senator Cotton, democracy exists by common agreement. Everybody agrees that elections matter and that the votes should be counted and that the power given to the people who win the election then allows you to make laws, and everybody will agree to that. If that agreement doesn't exist, you have violence. Well, that agreement only exists if everybody chooses to agree to it. So when you see Senator Vance...
On all fronts. Like, that's what they're... That's what they're hammering him on, which is kind of weird because, like, yeah, he was civil, but he, like, very civilly said he would deport 25 million people. You know? Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Lost, they are creating room for the lie to keep living. Yeah. This is not like a debate over tax cuts. This is about a fundamental idea of whether 81 million people should be disenfranchised because a guy didn't like that he lost. Yeah. Who said that? Not me, but the Republican leaders in the House and Senate at the time who said the lie from Donald Trump led to the violence. That's real and alive right now. It's not in the past.
Yeah, that's what worries me, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
I'm more surprised that they didn't actually hit him on the fact check side.
Do you?
Because he got like, he was like sad. He was like, yeah, you promised you wouldn't fact check me. That's weird.
All want to hear from the folks at the top of the ticket. Would you want to hear from Harris and Trump one more time? Or are you convinced you know who you're voting for? It doesn't matter at this point moving forward. Bill?
I'd like to hear it one more time.
One more time?
I want them to hear who they're voting for, so absolutely do one more.
I really don't want to.
No, you're good.
I'm done. I'm over it.
I'd like to see one more debate.
One more debate?
I'd go for it, yeah.
One more debate?
Between the, yeah. It wouldn't change my opinion, but I think it would help clarify some of their talking points on both sides.
I don't think it's worth it. I feel like it's too combative.
Wow.
Well, that pretty much sums it up. Some voters want another presidential debate and others are good. Let's take a closer look at the lies, though, from last night.
Why would anybody say that they don't want another debate? Like, I don't get it.
Garrett is here to help us fact check the VP debate.
Good morning, Adriana and Tony. Great to have our plus on here in the extra hour. Last night was not about grand exaggerations or really outright lies. Things were much grayer, and we'll get into that. I want to explain how our CBS Confirmed team basically worked round the clock last night to fact check the entire debate. And you can find the results of that work on social media, CBS News, or our website, CBS.
Because they recognize the same things you've been saying about the debate. Yeah, but I'm down to fucking watch another Trump-Kamala Harris matchup. I don't give a shit. What the fuck is going on? Donald Trump, Lib Crusher, thank you for liking my post. I'll send you important election updates from North Carolina. Make sure you're ready to vote for Donald J. Trump. What the fuck? Is he doing follow for follow too? Lib Crusher is a random Twitter account.
News Confirmed team. I want to get to the first one, something that Senator J.D. Vance said about the Iran nuclear deal. Let's listen.
Iran, which launched this attack, has received over $100 billion in unfrozen assets thanks to the Kamala Harris administration. What do they use that money for? They use it to buy weapons.
The CBS News Confirmed team rates that false, and here's why. And also, it needs context. What he's referring to is the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. That's the Iran nuclear deal, negotiated by President Obama in 2015.
If I like this post, I'll get it.
If it had held, would have unfrozen assets that Iran could have used. But President Trump pulled out of that deal. Those assets remain frozen. The $100 billion figure J.D. Vance referred to, it's actually $50 billion. That's why we rate it as false, needs context.
I like the post. I didn't get it. Trump is using a Mama Tread Robin. Thank you for liking my post. So Trump is using a branded notification for this. Thanks for pointing it out. It's basically like a tweet or semi-public DM, I guess, that won't appear in your timeline or searchable. Mystery solved. Wait, how do I find it? Oh my God, he did. He did. He did do it. Boom. He's a fan. I'm a real patriot now. This is like a senior getting excited. Their doctor's office texts back after they make an appointment. All right, shut the fuck up. This is objectively funny. Okay. Who you voting for in North Carolina? Mark Robinson and Donald Trump. Duh. Order his Bible. I've already ordered his Bible. Excuse me.
So we'll move on to the next one. Hot topic over the issue of housing in America as it relates to immigration. Again, Senator Vance.
You have got housing.
Do you like Trump or Kamala, or rather not say? What? No, I hate Donald Trump. I marginally hate Kamala Harris a little bit less than Donald Trump, but I still hate both of them. That's crazy.
That is totally unaffordable because we brought in millions of illegal immigrants to compete with Americans for scarce homes.
CBS confirmed team rates that partially true, saying it needs, again, more context. Returning to my point that there were not extravagant claims, but they all need more context. And here.
Oh my God, I can't believe they're literally saying like, oh, well, you know, it just needs more context. It just needs more context. What the fuck do you mean it needs more context, man? Are you insane? It is an insane thing to say. It's just as insane as claiming that undocumented migrants are responsible for like all the drug trafficking. Like, are there undocumented migrants that have engaged in drug trafficking? Yes. Is it marginal? Yes. The overwhelming majority are American citizens. Okay? There is no difference between saying this and then saying migrants are increasing the American crimes. Okay? Because while true, okay, of course, there are fucking undocumented migrants that have done crimes. Of course, they're human beings. Human beings are capable of being good. Many of them are. And some of them are capable of being bad and doing horrifying crimes. That's not how you look at the situation. That's not how you analyze the situation. You don't go, oh, well, you know, even if out of 15 million undocumented migrants living on U.S. soil, there was one extra crime, technically it's true. Technically, that is true. Okay? If there was literally only one extra homicide on U.S. soil that was done by an undocumented migrant, you could technically say undocumented migrants have increased crime in the United States of America. But if you were to make that argument, people will look at you like, what the fuck is wrong? Are you insane? That's an insane argument to make.
Here it is. Yes, there's a housing shortage in this country, and a Federal Reserve study that Senator Vance referred to and other studies suggest larger flows of immigration is one of the complications there. But housing shortage has been a problem since the Great Recession. In the decade after the Great Recession, we produced more new homes, fewer new homes in this country than we did in any decade since the 1960s. It is a complex problem with a lot of economic inputs. Higher immigration, legal and illegal, is but one of them. Finally, there was a claim by Governor Tim Walz about contraception and access to fertility.
Yeah. Higher immigration, legal and illegal is not an issue here. Okay.
Treatments. Let's listen.
Their Project 2025 is going to have a registry of pregnancies. It's going to make it more difficult, if not impossible, to get contraception and limit access, if not eliminate access to infertility treatments.
CBS News confirmed team rates that as needing context.
Heard that before.
Exactly. Here's what I want to explain about that. Project 2025 does not call for a pregnancy registry. However, it does call for, in any state that performs any abortion, an entire list of data about those abortions. Age of the woman, gestational age of the baby, location of the woman, in-state or out-of-state. All this.
We're done. It's over, Bo. It's over. Boys, is over. He just described a registry. He literally just described a registry while saying it needs additional context, guys. So what word could he have used in that situation? This is so fucking nitpicky, dude. Just like the Dems are making choices, we got to address the active choices the media has taken towards fascism. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I cannot believe that, like, it needs context. On the one hand is, yes, undocumented migrants are actually a burden on the housing supply. Technically is true. And then it needs context for the fucking Tim Walz side is, well, you know, a registry that he correctly identified as a registry. This is false. There is no doubt that the Project 2025 plan recommends restriction on abortion access, including the abortion pill. And it wants the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to collect this information from states. Number and method of abortions, reason for abortion, how far along, pregnant people's state of residence, and more. However, it does not create a federal agency to monitor pregnancies, nor does it require pregnant people to register. You literally just described a pregnancy registry and then said it doesn't require pregnant people to register. It requires the states to fucking put the information. It is the entire purpose of this is to make the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to operate a pregnancy registry, a database. And considering how Project 2025 works, by the way, it would be the CDC would be operated by entirely Trump appointments. How do you think that's going to work? He said pregnancy registry, not abortion registry. What are you talking about? This is a pregnancy registry. What are you saying? What are you saying? Am I reading this wrong? Like, what's happening? It's literally, that's it. That is the same thing, okay? Maybe you want to call it like a database or something. I don't know if you don't want to call it a registry, but that's it. It's it. That's the same. Oh, Chatter is right. It's saying they want the state of residency for pregnant people that got an abortion. First of all, it's not a pregnant person that got an abortion. It's a miscarriage registry. Okay? That's what it is. Just so you understand. Okay? Stop playing fast and loose with these fucking semantics arguments. And ultimately, the goal is to track pregnancies. Okay? That's it. There is no reason for this data to be logged and aggregated by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention unless you want to prosecute these people. If you guys do not understand, this is not like a Project 2025 thing, by the way, okay? Like, this is something that, you know, family values and other like pathic, like Moms for Liberty type groups have been advocating for quite a while. Okay, it's just written in Project 2025, but this is something that there has been a lot of advocacy for. Why? Because there's no other way to actually criminalize abortion. It's something that I have talked about for years, as a matter of fact, when talking about how cruel and unusual the criminalization of abortion would work. You know how I do this process where I tell you, like, how do you think mass deportations would work? And then I walk you through the steps piece by piece to help you materialize what that would look like if we actually did mass deportations. I used to do that about abortion as well, way back in the day, almost for a fucking goddamn decade. And yes, a standard part of that protocol is to monitor abortions, maybe even monitor fucking menstrual cycles, okay? Depending on how insane you want to get. Because there's no other mechanism of control. If you want to fucking stop abortions and you want to criminalize it, you have to fucking track people who are pregnant, okay? You have to track people who are pregnant that get a miscarriage. You have to prosecute every miscarriage like it is a murder. Deport the illegals. Nice, man. If you have this kind of like semantics, if you have this level of like semantics difference in this situation, you are insane, okay? You are psychopathic. I don't think you understand what's going on here.
That Project 2025 does not call for a pregnancy registry. However, it does call for, in any state that performs any abortion, an entire list of data about those abortions. Age of the woman, gestational age of the baby, location of the woman, in-state or out-of-state, all this other data. And it would also call for many, many religious exemptions to access to contraception, meaning if you're a hospital that's Catholic or otherwise, you don't have to provide it. All of those things fit within this general context, but there is not a specific pregnancy registry called for Project 2025. That's how we rate it.
Love that context, Major Garrett. I mean, and shout out to the CBS News Confirmed team because they were fact-checking in real time. The emails were coming in fast and furious last night. And then that QR code on the screen
that was
where
cool.
Viewers could actually check to see the...
Do they just go to jail afterwards? Yeah, they have. We have prosecuted people for miscarriages before in this country. Even in fucking Roe v. Wade era, we have prosecuted women for miscarriages. Because the distinction between a miscarriage that is naturally occurring and a medical miscarriage is, not all that significant. Do you understand? You can't always tell. And another aspect of this, like I've talked about before, time and time again, literally go back to like 2016 videos I've done on this. Okay? And you will see, like, how far do we go in terms of prosecuting abortions and prosecuting miscarriages? Is it now illegal for a pregnant woman to mow the front yard? That's labor. That's like a physically taxing thing that a pregnant woman is doing. Are you going to start prosecuting women who are pregnant for drinking a glass of wine? Okay. Like, there is no limit to the madness here.
Damn, this guy's good.